mate. I'm good. Any latest on Survitec?
I spoke to you, didn't I, after I spoke to Rich?
Yeah, no, I think we left that call in thing because I think you had to quickly go because Rob was calling you.
That's right, yeah. Rob was calling me for a general waffle, which I had to do. No, only thing I was saying was, I told you that they said about the questions, didn't I? Keep it interactive to keep people's attention.
Yes.
And did I tell you the bit about, I asked them if they'd done one already, and they have done IFS already.
Have they? Okay.
But they didn't go to IFS's offices because they were too busy, so they went to the bearing point offices. And that points me to the fact that they're doing this with Arkwide.
Yes, they are. Yes.
How do you know? Do you know that anyway, or?
No. Bearing Point are basically Arkwide owned, aren't they? Bearing Point owns Arkwide 50% or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what IFS are probably doing in order to distance themselves, because it's gone wrong on the commercial arguments, right? They're saying, well, why don't you go through our trusted partner, Bearing Arkwide?
Okay.
And that means, of course, that you've got the Arkwide team running it.
Yes,
and
which is
that
Steve
means
Barr.
that there's Steve Barr and all those guys like Jonathan and who's the guy, the solution architect guy that was good for all the construction work with the funny beard?
Yeah, Mark something. Yeah.
Mark Carr.
Yeah. But I don't think he will be the pre-sales guy. I think he's more of an architect, isn't he?
Well, I don't think that Arkwide have their own pre-sales. They tend to use IFS.
Okay.
But I didn't ask, when I was speaking to Tom, I didn't ask Tom if he was working on Survitec.
Yeah. Listen, he's probably going to work on Survitec and everything. That doesn't really matter. I'm not that worried about IFS on this particular deal, buddy, because I think we got a far better solution than IFS. Because if you think about service management, this is not a dynamic scheduling solution, right? So, and IFS's only edge against us is dynamic scheduling, right?
Well, and the fact that they're already there. They've already got a contract and they're already installed in some of the sites.
Yeah, true. But not in this business, no?
Well, I'm not 100% sure that IFS are only in the defence business.
Okay. I understand.
I think that, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, there might be some other divisions of Survitec other than defence that are using IFS, and that gives them a bit of a head start because they're a known quantity. We're an unknown at the moment, so we have to fight harder.
Yeah, but the only issue I have is that, okay, let's just say that they say, oh, well, to be honest with you guys, there is not that much difference in the two solutions, yeah, when all comes to thing. The fact that they already IFS, and IFS might have a leverage over them regarding some stupid compliance issues, right? They might just do a deal with IFS, no?
They might just use us to get IFS on better terms.
Yeah.
You're right. That's Mark's worry from the start. You know, it's a big shift to move from one ERP to another one when you're an established company.
Yeah, but that only applies. Mark's argument only partially applies if they've already got IFS in the businesses we are talking about. Okay.
Yes.
That I understand will be too big of a change. Why would you change for another vendor just like IFS when there is no clear advantage, right? I fully get that argument. But my argument is that even if IFS are not embedded into their business, I think the question is, if IFS says to them, look, you're not compliant, as we know that they always do, but we will do a deal with you whereby we'll let go the compensation on the other deal if you sign this with us, right? That is and I'm a bit worried that is what will happen. Yeah.
But I think that has already been done, because IFS have already done a compliance deal with Survitec, which is one of the things I believe that has made them go to the marketplace.
Is it okay?
Because if they've done that around the defence division, because guy called Alex Clark who we know, and there's an anecdotal conversation because he knows somebody who knows Rob that but I was told that he. Sorry?
I lost you for a minute, yeah, buddy.
I was told that the IFS sales guy received commission from the Savitec deal, but then they had to request the commission back because it was calculated incorrectly, because it wasn't incremental revenue, and he had to give his commission back because although they'd done a deal, they carved out the fact that they were already under maintenance.
Yeah, anyway, those are things we can't control really. I don't think that is under our control, right? But it does mean that...
No, we've got to, I think we've got to sort of earn our stripes, haven't we, on the product side first to get into that inner circle and have these discussions. Because Rich already started talking to me on the phone. He said, how we implement this is going to be a totally different discussion that we're going to need your input on, and lots of options and, well...
Yeah.
Big bang, single site. And he said, what about the small sites? We're worried that this software might not be able to cope with the small sites that we've got.
Yeah. I think that's fine. We can address that. I just think what it means is that we need to make sure that we are politically lined up as well with these people. So our contact can't just be with Rich and one or two other people. We need to go higher up.
We do 100%, but we can't do that, of course, until we've got our seat at the table with the product.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you know that the chairman of Savitec is ex-GKN.
Yeah, I know. You told me before.
So after this, we've got to do a whole sort of campaign, an ABM campaign, to all the stakeholders.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, we do what we have to do first.
I'm a bit worried between you and me because I've got the 3 live opportunities: Adler, Savitec, and Element, and then some other mumbo jumbo stuff with the MOD and Luton Airport and the NHS. I'm running out of days.
You will at least have a year, buddy. Why you worry about it? You're not on a probation or anything.
Because I want to win these.
Yeah. It took Adrian.
Yeah, I am on a probation. 6 months standard.
Yeah, but probation simply just... Nobody expects you to close a deal within first 6 months, do they?
No.
So,
Mark said, if you close one deal in the first year, that will be a bonus.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, but Adler and Savitec are closable deals, aren't they?
Listen, they are closable deals. Adler, first of all, to me, remember we had that discussion. It was a long shot. The fact that we are here is already a credit to us. Okay.
Yes.
But losing doesn't get any points to us. But it is true that nobody else in this business, Andy, would have able to get to Adler where we are today. But there is not much we can do differently. That's the point. What could we have done differently? And the answer to that question is no. There is nothing, given our ecosystem and everything, we could have done differently on Adler. Yeah?
You're right. Yeah.
Unless you think that your mate Bobby Charlton can make a difference. Joking.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and on Savitec, we haven't done the demo yet, so it is difficult to answer that question. But if we do the demo well, and we are able in a situation where we think Infor is a better solution, then it is all to play for. I think then that will have to be a very enticing commercial deal with Savitec, whereby even compliance can be put to side. Yeah, you know what I mean? We'll just have to make a deal like that, which Savitec just can't refuse.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, well listen, we can only do what we can do, buddy. Let's do our job on Monday. Then we can worry about stuff. Yeah. But Rich, other than that, Rich did not give any arguments, do's or don'ts or anything like that, right? And he did not give you any hint as to how the IFS thing went, yeah?
No. and I didn't want to ask.
Okay. Well, we need to gather that intelligence somehow, that how was IFS perceived by the business.
Agreed. And we need to talk about that in the margins on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
What I want to do really is get Mark engaged with their business leaders.
Okay.
And I think I might tell Mark, that we're worried that the conversation is only on one level. Can Mark have a lunch with their MD or something like that?
Yeah. Is MD is not coming though?
No, CIO is the highest.
Yeah, so I think we need to get him on board. And I think he would definitely want to put his own, he's a kind of a person who likes his own voice. I think he will probably say, I'm not going to deal with IFS, Anyway, Sid, go.